suplex.
All righty, welcome. Thoughts Count Anywhere coming to you live from the Go Live Vegas studios in the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. Aaron Phillips, the Chief, Mr. Matt Mullen.
What's up?
We're all here sticking around for this show is Brett Lawson.
Joe over there eating donuts.
Jeez. Eating his donut. He was very pleased with the gush of jelly that was in his donut this morning.
Check his Instagram later. I'm sure you'll see what he was eating.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Hey, my brother, you got a story for us this morning, sir. Get us off to the right foot.
Oh, yeah. I went down to my car last night to grab something, and this guy was locking up his moped, and he literally just wrapped it around the pole, and I was like, bro, you think your moped's going to get stolen locking it up like that? And he was like, I know what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And I should send a picture to put up on the thing.
But you took a picture of it?
Oh, hell yeah.
All right. Well, let's check that out. 702-329-6947 is our phone number. If you're listening to us on the app, we appreciate you. 702-329-6947. Press the number. We have a loaded show today. We have a busy show. Of course, we're going to open up with I Hear Voices in a moment. We have the Chiefs Rant coming up at the bottom of the hour, which, of course, is brought to you by Bruise Brothers. And then at the top of hour number 2, we're honored to have from Impact Wrestling Mr. Brian Myers, who will be involved in the Gauntlet match. Of course, if that name doesn't ring a bell, then perhaps Kurt Hawkins does from the WWE. But Brian will be joining us at the top of hour number 2.
Mr. Sean says we have static in our mics.
We do? We have
what-
static in our mics.
That's
Well,
what
let's
he
add a little
says.
bounce to it, and let's get rid of the static.
Bounce to the ounce.
Yeah, exactly.
More cushion to pushing.
We'll.
Yeah, buddy.
Wow.
I'm ready.
Y'all thought I was the one ready.
I was going
all
to
the
say,
time.
I'm
she
ready,
was ready
man.
to go.
I'm ready. I took my Geritol this morning.
My God.
And for you that
It's
don't...
Fixodent and Viagra.
well, we won't go there yet. That's tonight.
Oh. Never mind.
Never
I'm just
mind.
gonna let
Leave
that
it
go.
alone.
Gonna let that go because we got not a long 2 hours. We have 2 hours. Can you believe we're in our third week of 2-hour shows? 2 hours.
And,
Yeah,
you,
it's
know, and
freaking
you know
awesome.
what? Thank you to all our sponsors.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Josh Wolf is acknowledging you. Sean Hyde says it's better now. So that seems, thank you very much. All right, good. 702-329-6947. By the way, we're so excited about Impact coming here in a couple of weeks, but we'll get to that in a bit. What do you say we get started, shall we?
Ding, ding, ding.
Time for I Hear Voices. And of course, the first one, and I read this news piece too. Rumors Bray Wyatt was released for being difficult to work with and performance issues in the ring. Now, I can't say about anything that's backstage. I'm not there, but I can see what he does in the ring, and I never really saw anything of performance issues, gentlemen.
I never saw any performance issues. He's always really good in the ring. And as far as being him difficult backstage, he always had his own ideas. And he's always known as like one of the best minds in the business. So I'm sure he was just standing up for what he wanted to do,
For his
where
character.
his character wanted
Yeah.
to go. And WWE, with their wonderful ideas, he stood up to them and they didn't like it.
And you know, I wonder, with the amount of people that have been released through organizations, you know, Bray being a top performer, you know, how much of it's true? Or is it just a work?
Well, Josh shares with us that he believes Bray may have done things in the ring Vince didn't want him to do. Possible. I don't know.
What, entertain us?
Yeah.
Selling merch? Come on.
Well, rumor has it that because obviously WWE owns the name of Bray Wyatt and whatnot, that he's considering using his real first name, Wyndham, in his next stop in the wrestling
Well,
world.
if you want the next rumor, I'll give you the next rumor. I'll go off script. Next rumor is he's going to sign with Impact. There, you want a rumor?
There's the next rumor.
There's the
All right.
next rumor.
Hey,
right.
Wyndham, Samstown, October 23rd.
I'd love to
Be there.
I would love to see it.
I will lose my damn voice.
Oh, hell yeah.
We could
if
be
he
there.
comes out.
We could be there for history, right? Crazy. All right. Well, who knows? You never know. Listen, we're going to see what is the Iconics' new name now?
The Inspiration.
So we're actually going to see them, right, at the pay-per-view.
Yep.
They're going up for the tag
I'm
titles.
going to see them the night before the 22nd at the mall down south here. They're going to be there from 5 to 7 at the premium outlet malls.
On what
The
day?
Inspiration is?
Friday, yes. They are going to be there.
All right.
First I'm hearing of this one.
So they're going to be there, and
I
then
told
of course,
you I got all kinds of breaking news today.
then of course we have the Good Brothers down at Power Play, also on the 22nd.
I
right?
have them on the 22nd from
and I'll throw another rumor in after
3
that.
to 6. 3 to 6 Friday the 22nd, and Saturday the 23rd will be Demolition from 12 to 3 at Power Play Sports and Club.
And the rumor has it we're working hard on this. Hopefully that Saturday the 23rd, the Good Brothers, hopefully, maybe, possibly, could be, cross your fingers, hope to God, maybe in studio with us, since they're going to be in, Friday night, their Power Play. And Luke Gallows we've had on here before, and Mr. Anderson would be great to have here too. Wouldn't that be cool?
I'll go to the pit that day
Okay.
and
all right.
let the two of them set up here.
All right.
Hopefully Thoughts Count Anywhere becomes All Elite.
Now, of course,
Yes.
Now, of course, there was an idea that was brought up regarding the Good Brothers and with Demolition that possibly we might want to consider doing remote show from down there that Saturday morning. So Unsportsmanlike Conduct can do their show from Power Play or wherever we set up, and then we can go right into TCA from down there. And then we'd have to, Aaron and I would have to hustle our butts back here for Twin Brothers, but let's give that some thought. What do you think? Well, we'll give it some thought off the air. We don't need to think about it. Yeah.
Hustle the 90 seconds back here.
Well, it's the time for to get the equipment together and then resetting it back up. Unless I can get Neil to come down there.
I'm voting aye.
All right, so we have an I. All right, we'll talk
I
about that
could've
as.
said like a million things, but I'm just gonna be quiet.
All right, next rumor. Rumor is that The Rock will no longer be appearing at Survivor Series, as they want the Roman versus Rock match at WrestleMania. Look, weren't they talking about Rock at WrestleMania? But they were talking about him for 38, right? That's the one coming up in April?
Yeah, at first it was 38. Now they want to push it to WrestleMania 39.
If we wait another year and a half to 39, will there be the same impact of the two of them? Because I can't imagine. I would be shocked if Reigns still has the title going into WrestleMania 39. Do you see him holding a belt for over 2 years like this? I don't.
I could.
You
Who's
really
messing
think
with
so?
him now?
Well, again, let's see when all the new players at their new show. I mean, Drew's going over to SmackDown, and
All they got is Drew. It's only gonna last like 3 months. All they did was move like feuds over from different shows.
I said that last week. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Do I see Reigns keeping it for 2 years? No, but then the next question is, who's going to win it?
at 39.
Or prior?
You're saying I'm saying.
Or prior?
Oh, who's
to
going to
that?
beat him prior to that?
Yes, sir.
Well, I think a lot will tell us what's going to happen in Saudi Arabia this upcoming week between him and Brock Lesnar.
I just hope they got security for the airplanes.
Oh, they can get him off the ground, right?
Yes. No, I agree with you. I mean, Brock.
Yeah.
Is Brock going to win the belt this week?
I can't see it happening at Saudi Arabia because I think we all agreed that this is really a glorified house show, although they're going to carry storylines because the prince pays Vince, $50 gazillion and 9,000
I think
barrels of oil for this show, I guess.
think
I don't know.
put
Scott
on a
said
show
what,
for that.
50 million last? Isn't that what I think?
Yeah, something like 50 million. So, it would be great entertainment for the prince. I'm not getting up, was it Thursday morning at 2 in the morning or Wednesday, whatever it is, to watch it?
9 o'clock our time, Thursday morning.
Yeah, see, I'll be at work, so I ain't watching it. You know, so will they? Now, it's not unheard of that they would change title holders. They've done that in the past there, but with the feuds and what they're talking about with Rock and everything else. Now, will he lose the belt and then win it back maybe a couple times going into 39? I think that's a possibility. Who he loses it to? I mean, again, Karrion Kross, we know he's over on Raw, but we know people change during the year. Trades happen, so to speak. Anything can happen where he might lose the belt, then win it again, then lose it, and then win it again going into 39.
Yeah.
Now, even going to 39, we all know he's not going to lose the belt to The Rock. Nope. That match is nothing more than continuing to put Reigns over. But I don't know. 2 years straight holding a belt, that's unheard of in this day and age. Other than Nick Aldis in the NWA, he had the NWA title for quite a long time before he recently lost it.
There wasn't anybody else there, though.
Right, I get that.
Now Murdoch, I'm
Right.
glad to see Trevor get it because of who his dad was and the lineage that, he has in professional wrestling. And I think he can take it off. But I want to get back to Saudi Arabia for a minute. I think we can already call who's going to be king of the ring. It's going to be Jinder Mahal. There is no doubt.
Is that where the finals are?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that the finals for that King of the Ring. Okay, there it is on. And the Queen's finals also.
Yeah. Jinder Mahal is.
I can't necessarily disagree with that.
That's the Prince's call.
I can't necessarily disagree with that thought.
I think Finn Balor is winning it.
That's who I want in my heart to win it, but I think with it going in front of over there.
It's the wrong crowd.
Yeah, but I think the Prince is going to say, I want Jinder Mahal to win it. And
he also wanted Yokozuna at the first show.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. If at 39, let's say for the sake of discussion, Roman doesn't have the title, will the match between Roman and The Rock be just as important? I'll put that word in quotes. If he has the belt or not, or would it be the same level of importance in terms of seeing those two in the ring and Rock passing the torch, so to speak?
Yeah, for sure.
Let me bring me up to speed. When's WrestleMania 39?
A year and a half.
Okay. Do we honestly know, or are we presuming that it's going to be Roman and The Rock? We haven't seen it or have we seen it in concrete that's...
Oh, none of these matches are in concrete. We're just talking about the rumors of these possibly happening.
Then my thoughts are, you may see Damian Priest pushed by then, really pushed. You could see Karrion Kross really pushed by then. It may not even be Roman Reigns having the belt by then, being the being the main event. It could be other people. Could Corbin make a comeback with a big push to win the belt? There's a lot of quality. Cesaro. Does Cesaro finally get
What happened to Cesaro? Did he move and nobody sent his forwarding mail to anybody? Where's he been? By the way, just a couple of quick shout-outs. One I want to address, Sean Hyde, thank you very much. He does remind us that, of course, NWA didn't run a show for almost a year. Shade will be defending his title tonight, by the way, the Prince X title. But he's issuing an open challenge or something tonight. I don't know. He's a current champion. And he says, step up and challenge me, Aaron. Why would he want me to challenge him? I'm the one that predicted him to breakout star of the year for 2021.
He wants an easy night tonight.
Well, if he wants to give me if we want to talk about the finger poke of doom, then maybe we can make an arrangement. My goodness gracious. Josh agrees, Jinder Mahal. Shant from California. He's watching from California today. Thank you so much, Shant, for staying with us. Who else is in there?
Who the hell's Garth talking to?
I don't know, but I don't know. It looks like open challenge. Garth is responding to Shade's comment about me answering the open challenge tonight.
I think Garth's had a headshot.
I don't know. Listen, I don't want to get them started and riled up. We got too much important stuff to do today, so hopefully the syndicate will allow us to do our show. With that, we're going to step aside for our first break. When we come back,
great thing.
we're going to get into making our predictions for Crown Jewel right before the Chiefs rant. Right after that, at the next break, bottom of the hour. You're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. Brian Myers from Impact coming up, the top of hour number 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts Count Anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
At Firehouse Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide much-needed life-saving equipment to first responders. We make our subs differently because our subs make a difference. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
If inspiration is the beginning, where does it lead? Experience the 2021 Mazda 3 sedan and see where inspiration can take you.
Grab the brass ring in a 2021 Mazda 3 with exclusive FSW discounts at Findlay Mazda. Get Garth today at the Valley Auto Mall.
All right, welcome back. By the way, Garth, thank you so much for your comments on the new graphics. We appreciate that. 702-329-6947. Come on, guys. Call us in the studio and chat with us. Why?
Because the Chiefs said so.
That's right. Give us a call. It's great that you guys are commenting in the chat room. We love it. We're making it part of the show, but we really would love for you to call in. 702-329-6947. The phone numbers are at the top corner of the screen. They've moved this week.
Hey, Garth, give me a call. I want to hear your voice. Give me a call.
Sean Hyde says, thank you, guys. I know there are a few in this feed that donated to my son's school. I did see that post, so great. I actually tossed a few of my dollars to help Sean's son with his project that he was doing, so it's good to help kids doing good stuff.
Yeah, Liz and I donated a couple smackaronis, too.
Exactly. You know what? When you see good causes, man, you got to support it.
Actually, didn't see that. Send me the link, and I'll definitely donate a couple.
Yeah, Sean, if you can copy the link, at least put it in the chat room, and then send it, repost it either on TCA's page or whatever, and especially send it to Matt so he too can contribute. All right. Well, guess what? Your wish was his command. Joining us on the phone right now is Mr. Garth Wall. How are you, bud?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Chief?
Hey, my buddy, how you doing? I haven't talked to you in a week or so. You know, I just want to make sure you and Miss Janelle are doing okay.
We are doing fantastic, brother. Just looking forward to some great action up here in Vegas in the next 2 weeks. We got some big stuff happening. Looking forward to putting Vegas on the map again as the fight capital of the world.
Yeah, I got the list. I'm going to do it on the down low.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez. Have you noticed today, Garth, I know you've probably been following us close, and you notice Chief's a little more fired up today than normal?
Chief's always fired up, but that's why we love him.
Well, that's true. That is very true.
I appreciate that.
I hope he's fired up.
Chief's untouchable.
He's especially since he carries a kendo stick.
Is that a cane or a kendo stick?
Oh, I'll let Chief reply.
It's a cane that can whip your ass.
Oh my goodness!
I'm sure it will, young man. I'm sure it will.
Oh man!
I just wanted to put out something about this whole crown jewel thing. Me personally, as a lifelong fan and the politics behind, I just think it's garbage. I just think it's a bad move. I always have. They dictate what they want to see, and they keep the ladies, and me and Chief have the same view of when it comes to the ladies. It's time for a women's revolution. We need to put them front and center, and the fact that they make them change their outfits if they allow them to wrestle, and these guys sit in their Barca loungers all around the ring, and they're not even into it. It's just a pure greedy money grab, and the best way to describe Vince in this, I feel like he's a pimp, and he's just pimping out his people.
Pimping ain't easy.
Yeah. Where have we heard that before? What happened to my sound?
Ho, ho, ho. I mean, Godfather. Whoever it was.
Ho train.
Hey, Garth, you know how I feel, and I'm not going to disagree with you. But you kind of stole my rant, so now I got to come up with. Now I got to come up with a.
No one does it better than you, young man. No one does it better than you.
Because that's exactly what I was going to talk about today.
You lit his fire, dude.
And you know, I'm sorry. It's the 20. Well, I'll leave it go for now, and I'll just say this: it's the 21st century.
Yeah, I want the ladies to go down there and shine. No matter what outfits they put on, I want them to burn that fucking place down. That's just my personal opinion.
There you go. I don't know if you guys... Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, I can't hear. Okay. All right, very good. All right, Garth, we appreciate it, dude.
We're looking forward to seeing you guys next weekend. Everybody come down to Power Play next Friday.
Yep.
Check out the Good Brothers and Demolition on Saturday, and then Impact Weekend next weekend. We're going to show the world what Vegas can bring to the table. So
Hey,
we're looking
and
forward to seeing everybody down there.
Don't forget Friday night that you posted. Friday night, 5 to 7 at the
Outside outlets.
the outlet
shop?
malls. The outlet malls.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yep.
Also,
So we're-
don't forget Tuesday, October 26th, Firehouse Subs. Thoughts Can Anywhere will be
Always.
on the road that Tuesday, 7-8.
Chief will
All right, gentlemen. Everybody have
See
a
ya, bud.
safe week. Be safe, and we'll see you guys soon.
Right
All right,
on.
brother.
You too,
Love
man.
you.
Thanks,
Love
Gar.
you too, brother. Bye.
All right, we have some time before we get into the Chiefs rant. Let's talk about some predictions then for Crown Jewel. We can make this quick, easy, however you guys want to do it. Let's start at the top. Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Lesnar. Who wins? Matt?
Roman Reigns.
Chief?
And still.
Lesnar.
Oh, we got a split decision on this one. I'm going to pick Roman because I think that storyline with Paul is too important to not have back on U.S. soil. I think that storyline will continue a little bit longer. I'm going to take Roman Reigns. SmackDown Women's Championship, triple threat, Lynch, Banks, Belair.
Banks.
I go Sasha Banks because she's the only one on SmackDown, and it's for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
That is, yeah. Didn't Becky get drafted to SmackDown?
She's on Raw. She got drafted.
Oh, she
to
got the
Raw.
other way. That's right. Okay. Well, that's a great point. And you know what? You changed my mind. I'll go with Sasha. By the way, we have a picture now that we're going to put up based on what Matt was sharing us, his downtown story a few minutes ago. So our producer will pop that up on the screen here as we get ready to. There we go. Oh,
This is how you securely lock up a moped. Oh, you got to get the top of it so you don't realize. There you go. It's real complicated to steal over there. That's real.
Holy shit.
there are just some things you can't make up.
I had to take a picture. I was like, this
Brother.
This is like a meme that nobody ever sees in real life.
I'm glad we put it up. I'm glad I'm laughing. I feel great. We got to laugh.
But I'll tell you what, I see a meme coming.
There's one coming.
Garth says, I'm sorry, Roman wins by DQ. That's another possibility that it ends in a DQ.
I say whatever happens, Paul Heyman's involved in the finish.
Oh, no question.
Liz said last night that Paul Heyman's going to make the switch and go to Brock.
At Crown Jewel?
At Crown Jewel.
Possibly, but again, I just have a hard, feeling that you just can't make major storyline changes in Saudi Arabia when your audience is sleeping most around the country because it's 9 a.m. our time, which means it's 12 o'clock East Coast time, which is lunchtime. I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't believe there are going to be major changes, and one as important as that, I can't see it happening in Saudi Arabia.
I respect that.
No.
Let me throw this twist at it real quick.
Okay.
What if the WWE needs to up its ratings? Because if you saw there was something about sale of tickets and stuff, my thought is if they need to up their ratings, this is a good time to do it.
Up which ratings? Pay-per-view ratings or
Their
TV ratings?
Their pay-per-view and their TV ratings.
But
by switching a couple championship matches
at
over
Saudi
the-
Arabia and then
over
seeing
there,
the maybe.
not being expected.
Yeah, maybe. I guess then start producing the changes here. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a good thought. WWE Championship: Big E versus Drew McIntyre. I don't see McIntyre winning if he's going over to SmackDown.
True. I see Big E retaining
Right.
for sure.
I agree.
Okay. Let's see. No disqualification match between Bobby Lashley and Goldberg. I think Lashley's going to win because Goldberg can't go more than 5 minutes.
I think Goldberg's son's going to get involved somehow. Okay.
I think the betting odds should be how many botches Goldberg has over who's winning. I think Bobby Lashley wins, but the over-under on botches should be like 3.5.
I wonder if we could get that put in the sports book out here.
That would be
It's
fun.
got to be somewhere.
That's offshore, very offshore, like in Saudi Arabia, offshore betting in Saudi Arabia.
Anybody want to bet the Prince?
Hell in a Cell, Edge and Seth Rollins.
Edge.
That's going to be the match of the night, I'm sure, and Edge is going to win it.
Now, I sentimentally I want to agree, but we know Edge is not performing, 300 plus days a year. So what would happen to Seth's character or to Seth if he does lose to Edge as Seth continues to be on TV regularly? What does that do for his character?
Who cares?
No, but he came back and he beat him the second time.
If my thought is if Edge wins, he's going to semi-retire off because he's got TV, his hunting show and everything else coming up that he's going to need to do. So I think Edge is going to win. He's going to go bye-bye for a while. And, Rollins is Rollins.
Rollins, like with his new character, like the
arrogant son of a bitch he is.
The crazy, like, freaking dude he is now. That I don't think it'll really hurt his character just because he can play it off like the drip god or evangelist, whatever he's trying to be at the moment.
Bless you, my brother.
Raw Tag Team Championship, RK Bro versus AJ Styles and Omos.
Bro.
Oh, Garth Wall's predicting the hubcap will make her return just for Chief. By the way, Sean likes the 3.5 as the over/under. By the way, he says he would go the over. By the way,
same.
There you go. Okay, Raw Tag Team. We're all in agreement that RK Bro will retain. All right, I want to go to Mansoor and Mustafa Ali before we go back to the other two. To me, I understand why Mustafa Ali is getting a match at this card. But to me, I have not been following Mansoor and Mustafa Ali at all. Their storylines, to me, is lost in the shuffle. I know they just broke up their tag team. But who wins this?
Mansoor's undefeated in Saudi Arabia just because he's from there.
Okay.
So he's got to be the token person on the card.
The Prince says so.
Because the Prince says so. Sean Hyde says, Bro's wife wins. All right.
She gonna win half.
So,
hey, which show they on? SmackDown or
Raw? RK Bros on Raw.
Well, then that thought just went out the window. I was thinking maybe Orton's going to get a shot at Reigns, possibly, but that
time will tell.
Yeah,
time will tell. All right. So we talked about King of the Ring finals. Jinder. Is that what everybody's kind of thinking?
No.
Who is he going up against? Is it Finn Balor in the finals?
He's still got to go against Xavier Woods to get to the finals.
Oh, okay.
That's
so
on Monday.
They're doing that on Monday. Okay, gotcha.
It's Jinder. In my opinion, it is.
I think from a marketing standpoint, because they're still trying to break into that market heavily, which is why Jinder won the title a few years ago. I agree. I think Jinder Mahal kind of wins here.
He's from India. Do Saudi Arabians and Indians even get along?
Absolutely.
Well, given the fact that he was born in Canada.
No, I don't even mean that's like a smart-ass thing.
No.
For real, do they get along?
Yes. Yeah, they do.
Yeah. I guess.
I don't want to say anything to get us canceled. So
no, thank you, John Gruden. Okay, Queen of the...
I didn't email you.
Queen Crown Finals. First of all, WWE is doing this thing a whole disservice by giving the matches like 2-3 minutes.
The longest match has been like 2.5 minutes.
Crazy.
But if we don't get Queen Selena Vega out of this, I'm going to be furious.
Okay. Chief?
I don't care.
And they're...
Mr. Women's Wrestling
Wait a minute.
does not care who wins Queen of the Ring.
I want Doudrop.
Really?
Doudrop.
You want Eva Marie to win, don't lie.
I want Doudrop.
Is she in the tournament, Doudrop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got to get annihilated by freaking Shayna Baszler.
Oh, my God. Did you see what Shayna Baszler did last night with Naomi in a handicap match?
Yeah. What's her name going to get back into wrestling now? The Suit?
Sonya Deville?
Sonya Deville.
I hope so.
She's going to start wrestling again or what?
I hope so. I
think it'll be Shayna and Zelina in the finals, and Doudrop will end up helping, trying to cost Shane of the match or something.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
See,
I dig that.
Great minds think alike.
All right. Now that we're done with the preview, that means we got to get the Tasmanian Devil ready to go. Hold that thought, because
Chief's got to get a drink.
I also have to pull up the script for the spot to thank our sponsor. I should have pulled it out beforehand, which I normally would do.
That's
right?
okay.
All right.
No problem.
The Chiefs Rant is brought to you by Bruise Brothers Live from fabulous Las Vegas. Wrestling memorabilia and collectibles every Sunday at 2 p.m. exclusively on the Top Rope Collectibles Facebook group page. Remember, if you can't find it, just search Top Rope Collectibles in the search bar on Facebook. Sunday, 2 p.m. Bruise Brothers. With that, it is time now for the Chiefs Rant.
Good morning, everyone. It is the Chief. My 3 minutes of fame is now 2:59. Anyway, what I want to discuss that I did start to discuss with Mr. Garth this morning was the women over in Saudi Arabia. Supposedly, what we've heard, the prince pays Vince about $50 million, and that's a whole hell of a lot of money. I'll give you that. We could live on it. But the thing that pisses me off is the women may not possibly be able to wear their normal costumes that they wrestle in here over in Saudi Arabia because of the Saudi Arabian customs, their laws, etc., etc. To me, if you're going to pay that type of money, and Mr. McMahon, you have to understand this. If you're going to accept that money, you have to have a great contract with the prince over there to allow your full product, promotion, whatever you want to call it, to be on the pay-per-view, especially the women. If you don't, then you're basically, in my opinion, accepting womanizing, whatever you want to call it, of the females that work for you behind the scenes, your whole production team, the whole WWE, that you have women working for you. And the prince needs to understand this. And it really, it just upsets me. So, in saying that, that's the damn Chiefs Rant today. Let the women do their job. Let them have great matches, which I think Becky, Sasha, and Bianca are going to put it on fire over there. Just my opinion. And I'd like to see one of them possibly land close to the prince and possibly put a punch on him. That would be okay, too, in my opinion. But, hey, I'm just the Chief. So that's the Chiefs Rant today. The Chief over and out.
Right on. The Chiefs Rant, again, brought to you by the Bruise Brothers Live from fabulous Las Vegas. Wrestling memorabilia and collectibles every Sunday at 2 p.m. on Facebook, exclusively on the Top Rope Collectibles Facebook group page. Simply go to the search bar, type in Top Rope Collectibles, 3 separate words on Facebook, and be sure to tune in every Sunday at 2 p.m. Mark it on your calendar so you are remembered and reminded to be there. All right, good job. The first year the women were there, because I remember Natalya, and I don't remember who she wrestled, was the first time the women wrestled there, and they were head-to-toe dressed in wrestling gear head-to-toe.
Yes.
But for some reason, and please correct me if I'm wrong, or if anybody else, please correct me, I seem to recall the next time they went back, they were not dressed head-to-toe.
They were. It was Alexa and Sasha. I remember that match.
That was the next year?
Because they came out with like special figures of like them covered.
Okay.
Exactly.
I couldn't remember. I know for some reason I was thinking that they were somewhat closer to their regular gear, but okay.
And don't get me wrong.
I think if them girls came out like that, their heads would explode.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Doing a service both ways.
I understand their I understand their customs.
Oh my God!
And I understand their laws over there, and you know, and how their their country is.
Mm-hmm.
I accept that,
Mm-hmm.
but accept the package, the total package that's being given to you.
I have a funny feeling though that Vince had to agree to that in order for the organization to go over. I hear what you're saying,
No.
but it's their culture, and I guess in a way, if you're going to go over there and the prince is going to write out a $50 million check, I think you should honor the country's customs, especially if it's agreed upon that that's what the prince is asking for. And I'm only presuming he's asking for that. That's all.
I think if they think that low of women kind of like that, or what they do, having Sasha, Bianca, and Becky in a match, I hope they blow their socks off to the point they'd be like, oh, what did we just see?
Maybe a costume malfunction or something.
Oh, my gosh. Oh. How can you have a costume malfunction when they're dressed like mummies to wrestle?
You never know.
No, that's true. That's true. Anything can happen, right? Slits can open
Miracles can happen.
All right. Let me
walk, Johnny, walk. Forrest, run.
Let me have a couple minutes here.
Okay.
Today we have Poder Tres, Uno Dos Tres, FSW Arena, 6035 Harrison Drive, 2 p.m. start time, an all-women show.
Good morning, Linda.
Tonight, Big Valley Wrestling's Outrageous at the LGBTQ Center of Southern Nevada, start time 6 p.m.
Sponsored by Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Sponsored by...
And commentary team of Aaron and Brett.
Dark Arts Entertainment presents Monster Mash, 714 South 1st Street, 8 p.m. start time. Tomorrow, Pro Wrestling Exhibitions at the Boulevard Mall, 3680 South Maryland Parkway, 1 p.m. bell. Power Play Sports and Collectibles, Friday 22nd, 3 to 6, the Good Brothers, hopefully in studio the 23rd.
Too sweet.
And Saturday the 23rd, 12 to 3, it would be Demolition. And then the 23rd at night will be Impact's pay-per-view.
Bound for glory.
Thank you, gentlemen.
And we didn't even practice.
and the 24th and 25th will be TV tapings.
That's right. All right. You know what? I think we should take a break a little bit early. So then we come back, then we'll flip to AEW Impact as we get ready for Brian Myers.
Yes, sir.
To hopefully video in and connect with us at the top of hour number 2. I know our producer will let us know when that is done, so we can have Brian in at the top of the hour. You are watching Thoughts Count Anywhere with Matt and Chief, myself, Aaron. When we come back, we're going to talk about some Impact in AEW. We'll be right back after this.
If you order Firehouse Subs online or with our app, we'll have those delicious, melty subs boxed, bagged, and ready to pick up with Rapid Rescue to Go. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
Sin City Sublimation is an all-in-one design and manufacturing shop making everything here in Las Vegas. Most companies have everything made overseas. We do not and can do all the work in 2 weeks or less. From the court to the field, we have all types of sports uniforms for your liking, but if you are looking for something else, we also make memorial shirts, birthday shirts, and fan gear for your kids' teams. Send us an email at sales@sincitysublimation.com, and if you mention Thoughts Count Anywhere, we will take $5 off each shirt with a minimum of 12 purchased. A pro wrestler-owned business, we are known for reasonable pricing with a fast turnaround, all made in the USA. For more information, go to sincitysublimation.com for more.
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast, Thoughts Count Anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
All right, welcome back. Thoughts Count Anywhere, 702-329-6947. Press 1. Take us on the go if you're outside the United States. 1-855-502-4321. Press 1 as well. If you're on the go, we appreciate us taking you along the way. If you can't continue to watch, of course, you can always continue to listen by downloading the Go Live Vegas app to your phone. Just go to your Play Store, look for Go Live Vegas, 3 separate words, download it. Take us on the go wherever you are. We are going to be there with you. Certainly, you don't want to miss the Brian Myers interview coming up in about 15 to 17, 18 minutes, whenever we can get them connected close to the top of the hour. So, all right, so we appreciate that. Give us a call. We want to hear your thoughts about everything going on in the world of pro wrestling. With that, let's talk about some Impact stuff as we get ready for Brian to come in. Of course, some of the big news, and you kind of touched on it earlier with an appearance, that the Inspiration will challenge Decay, Rosemary, and Havoc for the Knockouts Tag Team Championship at Bound for Glory. And for those who don't know who Inspiration is, they are the former Iconics from the WWE. Thoughts?
glad they finally landed a home, and
Yeah.
I was uber excited when they said they were coming October 23rd, and I'm like, hold up, that's Bound for Glory. And I'm like, no, knowing my luck, there's some other show somewhere. And then they said it was Impact, and I was like, yes.
Yeah,
Hope to see new tag team champions live in person.
By the way, I do want to mention our Impact Report and interviews that we do with our Impact people are supported and sponsored by Power Play Sports Collectibles down at the Boulevard Mall. And we appreciate Scott and the company over there helping us out with connecting to Impact, especially for Bound for Glory. And from what rumor has it, they're going to be coming back to Vegas. You know, they love Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Supposedly, the pay-per-view is going to be here in November also.
Turning point.
That's what they say, yeah.
Turning
So
point, yeah.
that's great that we have it happen again. So, again, we want to thank Power Play Sports at the Boulevard Mall. Scott Hosey and company, we appreciate that.
Hopefully we can get the inspiration on the show before the next pay-per-view.
Maybe we get that would be cool. Get them on.
How early would everybody be here?
Cool your, just cool your jets.
I don't know.
You cool your jets first.
Cooling your jets. All right. So listen, I think it's great. I think it's like you said. First of all, again, one of the worst cuts the WWE was cutting. First of all, splitting these two guys up in their tag team.
Ladies.
Yeah, sorry, ladies. And did you realize? I don't know. Do you guys watch Survivor? Anybody watch Survivor here in the studio? Yes.
Not in like 10 years.
Used to. Well, you know one of his Jeff Probst's phrase when they come in for challenges. Come on in, guys. Okay. Well, at the beginning of this season, with the shutdown and everything, he asked the teams at the very beginning of the year, what would you like to see with Survivor? Some changes, some differences, and somebody called him out. That's the word. Commented on his use of the word "guys" in that phrase. Come on out, guys. And so now he just simply says, "Come on out." I don't know. I mean, I grew up with the vernacular. Guys was always general.
So did
right?
I.
I mean, but I understand how things are, and good for Survivor that Probst decided to make the change and see what happens. So when I say guys, I mean it all inclusively.
Welcome to 2021.
I know.
Where the world's offended by everything.
Ding, ding, ding.
Send your put Matt's email up there.
Who?
I don't give a crap at thoughtscountanywhere.com.
Hey, I read.
Come find me on Fremont Street.
There you go.
And we'll tape it. Anyway,
you'll make a good story.
I read something last night. Japanese wrestlers coming over to the house shows.
He was just on AEW.
Yes.
All right. Is he the guy that just wrestled Brian Danielson last night?
Yes. And
on YouTube? Who is it? Minoru Suzuki?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
He's coming over. He's going to be here, and he's going to wrestle the 24th and 25th at 2 house shows.
Cool.
At Impact. So
All right.
there's another one coming in unexpected.
There you go. We love that.
Never know.
And what Josh Alexander said was the forbidden door is open during the TV tapings.
Well, there you go. So,
and the other big thing is Awesome Kong is going to be going into the
Yes.
Impact Hall of Fame.
I did see that as well. There's a lady whose career I think really got cut short, didn't it? I mean, I read how long, but she had a lot of injuries.
Health-wise.
Well, health-wise.
Very much so.
I mean,
yes.
she when she signed with the WWE, she was a King. I want to say King Kong or something Kong.
Awesome Kong.
Awesome Kong.
It was going to get to. I was going to get there. I was going down
You
the
got the
alphabet.
3/4 half.
I'm catching
today?
it from you there.
Right.
I got the other quarter. So yeah, but she was injured. She really didn't make an impact in as much of wrestling because of all the injuries and health concerns she had. When she's in the ring, great performer, but she just got hurt a lot, unfortunately, and that tends to cut a lot of careers short.
Yeah.
She reminds me of Matilda from Glow.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But congratulations, she's being recognized to go into the Impact Hall of Fame.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to another note. You already talked about that the next pay-per-view Turning Point will be at Sam's Town November 20th, and then TV tapings November 21 and 22. Hey, if you guys want to go, I suggest you make your plans now. Just as soon as the tickets become available, get your tickets for the pay-per-view. And listen, you guys are all we're all going to the TV tapings too,
Yes.
right? We're going to go support TV tapings.
We'll
I know
there.
Brett's going, Aaron's going.
Yep.
Shit, it's important we get Aaron to go to TV tapings. our producer, God bless him, he's going to get out and he's going to get a real taste of wrestling on.
He saw a picture of the inspiration and was like, I'm inspired to go to Sanstown.
That's right, exactly. All right. Mercedes Martinez wins the knockdown tournament. Thoughts? Because they count anywhere.
It's about damn time.
Not surprising at all. Once I saw she was in there, I was like, I can totally see her winning this.
So now what does that what does this mean for her? Where do you think this win over this tournament is going to take her?
You know what? I would love to see Mercedes Martinez and Shayna Baszler in a match.
Wrong company.
I know.
I was going to say.
I know.
Talk about a forbidden door.
I would love to see that match. Strictly wrestling. No crap, no bullshit. That would be a headline match.
I'd rather see Mercedes Martinez against Deonna Purrazzo because Deonna Purrazzo is a way better wrestler than Shayna Baszler.
Have we really seen the best of Shayna Baszler as a wrestler since she's been called up to the main roster?
No,
not really. She's better in NXT. Hopefully now she's getting the push she should.
Why was she better in NXT than the main stage?
Creative.
She's given more than 2 minutes to show off what she can do.
Because Shawn and Triple H were there. Yeah. That's why. Now that Vince is there, she needs to stay up on the stage. And hopefully Shawn and Triple H are going to get there real quick and let her have the creative freedom that she had on NXT. I agree with you.
When you bring up Shayna Baszler and her opening move is biting, right? Becky Lynch in the back of the neck or whatever it was, that storyline with the, like she was Countess Dracula coming up. That's not a great start. I know you want to build, she was a monster, you want to build her up that way and all that, but really biting the neck of Becky is the way you want to start this person's career on the main roster?
That was one of the few times I was like, what the did I just watch?
What the fudge?
That was WWE's creative.
Well, it wasn't very creative.
Hell no.
Buy the shirt at thoughtscountanywhere.com.
That's right. Speaking of which, thoughtscountanywhere.com. Go to the shop tab. There's a lot of great shirts out there. There's a new product up there. Thoughts are straight out of TCA. Of course, the shirts are still up in support of the Nevada Coalition for Suicide Prevention. Both the Garth shirts are up there, where all proceeds from those two shirts will be donated to the coalition to help with suicide prevention. Plus many other shirts, and any of the stuff you see on there, they're not just shirts. You can do the click down and you can get hats, you can get koozies, you can get masks, you can get whatever you want with the TCA logo. Matt is always adding some great ideas to the to our shop. So please check it out. Help out a guy, would you?
Aaron, what are you pointing at?
I know. Is he pointing at? Oh, there you go. Oh, there's the picture of what I was just talking about. There you go. See it in the inset there.
Yep.
Shayna Baszler coming on and getting Becky in the back of the neck, and Baszler with a little bit of the drop of the blood coming out of her mouth. So, Lacey. Oh, I didn't read this, so I'm glad the scroll's going today.
Pill.
Lacey Evans delivers. I just call what he said. Lacey Evans delivers the second child via home water birth.
Tough lady.
Yeah, well, she was
former Marine. Semper Fi.
There's never a former Marine. Is that correct?
That is true statement.
All right, I just want to make sure.
Never.
W snubbed his crown jewel match. Anyway,
we're going to be here a while.
I know.
Reading.
Okay.
This.
So, all right, let's go into some other news. Anything else off of Impact?
Why the hell Don Callis mocks Roman Reigns for drinking Kool-Aid? Shit. I can remember seeing Don Callis at wrestling matches having a brown bag underneath his desk drinking during the broadcast. So, Callis, keep your mouth shut.
So, was it Kool-Aid he was drinking under
Hell
the desk?
no, it wasn't Kool-Aid.
Roman was drinking the Kool-Aid real hard. He was towing that company line like a son of a bitch.
That's Mike's Hard Kool-Aid. That's why he didn't
like,
say what kind.
AEW
Don't
is
tell
in
no one.
competition, and
all right,
I could take them all out of a club if I had to. Get the hell out of here.
I wonder if Callis is going to be here this week. You hear anything?
Yeah, he'll be here.
He'll be here?
Should be.
Jabroni.
Unless he's on the Jericho cruise because it's the same time.
I have friends from Vegas here that went to Jericho cruise. You know Big Ken?
Yeah.
7 foot Ken? Mr. Ken and his significant other are on the Jericho cruise.
Oh, it's next week during
And
the like same time as the TV taping.
Yep, that's why. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. They're going to be on it.
So Bailey apparently is in the corner of Brock Lesnar as she wants to hit Roman Reigns, as she wants Lesnar to hit Roman Reigns with her finisher to beat Roman Reigns. So Bailey's obviously in the corner of Brock Lesnar to win.
Is that the new storyline?
Well, I just read it on the crawl.
Brock and Bailey, the BBs.
Wait, who knows? Why not?
Not the Bruise Brothers.
But you'd have, no, not the Bruise Brothers.
No, not my sponsors.
But Brock would have to ask Sable if that would be allowed as a storyline. We'd have to check that one out. All right.
Imagine how goofy that would look if he hit the Bailey to belly on Roman Reigns
and wins with it. That would be interesting. Well, it would be an opposite, suplex. I mean, something different for him, right? I mean, he's not a big technical wrestler, right? We mock a John Cena, we mock a Goldberg. He doesn't apply a whole lot of wrestling moves. You know, he does apply a lot of submission moves. He's got the suplex and the F5 or whatever it is. That's pretty much it. Am I missing something in Brock's, house of offense?
He's got a new hairstyle.
So what does that mean for his offense?
His strength.
I see. So if we
onion
cut it
on top of his head makes him stronger.
Yes.
So if we cut the bun, does that mean he's weaker? Was that Goliath who got his hair cut that lost his Samson? That's right.
Samson.
Well, listen, it's been a while since I've read the good book. So what can I take? Right.
You failed mythology in school, huh?
Oh, you bet your ass I did.
Just checking.
I did. It took long enough for me to realize.
Chief was there when it happened.
I was
didn't even have to read the book.
I was on the radio.
It was on the radio.
I was watching it on the radio.
The chariot races he was listening. He was watching on the radio. Oh, my goodness.
He wrote it to school.
Hey,
that's right.
Can I?
You can tell we're stalling to the top of the hour, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I bring something up?
Please,
Can I bring something up real quick?
Absolutely.
This was possibly going to be my other rant. When I went to school, folks, we either walked to school, we rode our bicycles. If you were more than
did you use your metal roller skates?
If you were more than 2.5 miles away, then you got bused to school.
Oh, I know where you're going.
Okay, with this today, and hey, I want our children to be safe.
Yep.
Believe me when I say that. I want our children to be safe. But I think there comes a point in time where we have to be common and use common sense. Right behind me is a high school where I live, Legacy High School. I see the students walking to school. I see them driving to school. And I see school buses. But you know what I don't see? Is anybody riding bicycles anymore to school. Okay?
Elementary, yes.
And we complain, and people are complaining about our students having to take public transportation to school. Well, you know what? If you live a mile away, folks, parents, buy them a bicycle and let them bicycle to school. It's good exercise for them.
The elementary school kids do ride bikes and scooters and stuff, so I do see that there. But you're right, middle and high school, they don't. Why? Because it's probably not cool. I thought you were going to talk about the RTC usage because there's a shortage of bus drivers for the school system here.
Is there still 200?
I think so, something like a couple of hundred. So that means bus routes are so far behind that it's hours. Students are hours behind getting to class, getting picked up at the end of the day to go home. So now they're allowing high school students to use the RTC system. And I shared an article on my wall about that today, and it's like, you know what, we got to do better. There's 200 bus drivers. We're short about 500 or 700 substitute teachers. We're short still about 400 or 500 regular teachers in classrooms. Yeah. And we wonder why at least our school system is next to last in the state rankings for education.
And here's the other thing I don't understand. We saw an article or I did anyway, that the marijuana industry in this state made $1 billion last year. Okay, where the hell's the money cut for the educational system in this state? Somebody explain it. When the Republican was in, they couldn't explain it. Now we've got a Democratic governor. He can't explain it. You know what? It's bullshit, folks. It's time for us to stand up and do what we need to do. That's go to the polls when it's time and vote these son of a guns out of office.
I would love to see, what do they call those major audits when you come in and do
unannounced by somebody not in the state. Bring an audit team in from another area and let them audit.
But it's called a certain type of audit where they come in and just audit. The name escapes me right now, but when Sandoval was governor, he was the first one when marijuana sales started coming in. He took that money out of the marijuana budget, put it into the general budget to fix the roads.
Yep.
Yeah. So he started that trend. And
Yes.
you are 1,000% correct that funding from the marijuana sales
is supposed to go to
the
schools.
educational system. That is correct. And as we continue to cut programs and teachers and classrooms are 40 students big here, and you got homeschooling now is starting to take over because parents are tired of the conditions. Somebody needs to, and I'm going to come up with the word before the show is over, but somebody needs to do an audit on where this money is. I totally agree with you with why it's being all misappropriated or how it's being misappropriated.
I think with like all this stuff, there's shortages like everywhere. They just need to get rid of all the extra unemployment stuff and send everybody back to work.
Well, the extra unemployment dollars ended at the end of September. Yes, we do. We have a phone call coming in right now. All right. Thank you for calling Thoughts Count Anywhere. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, fellas. This is Sean Hyde calling from Las Vegas.
Mr. Hyde, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good. What's up?
Doing great.
I got the radio
Well,
on.
I figured always.
Yes.
Hey, I figured I had to call in while you guys are talking about the school stuff.
Please.
I'm 100% on board, and I feel like if I've ever become an internet troll in my life, not on your guys' show, it has been on the CCSD internet system. As you guys know, most of you guys know, my wife is a teacher, and this school district does not help these teachers or schools at all.
They continue to ask for more and more from the teachers without additional pay or additional time off to offset it.
Exactly. And I learned so much sitting at home during the first start of this pandemic, watching my wife try to teach. Being able to hear what the news is saying about the school district and what they're doing for teachers in schools, and yet seeing the meetings that my wife was having with their administration and the things that the district was not doing. I'm 100% with you guys that these people need to be audited. I was on a school meeting the other night on Facebook, and this leadership just is not listening about the shortages of teachers and everything like that.
Of course not. And if you go to a school board meeting, Sean, and you try to speak and they don't like what you're saying, your 2 minutes is going to be up real quick. So
yeah, 100%. I received an email, 2 months ago asking me, saying that, the school district had $770 million and was asking, for ideas. These teachers have been working without a contract. About 2 years ago, all of us in Vegas saw that they were, about to go on strike with their union and stuff like that. And these teachers never saw that money that they agreed on. That contract, they're working with no contract.
Sean, unfortunately, we've got to cut you off, buddy.
We're waiting for Brian Myers to call in, so we just need to free up the line,
do it.
right? Yeah. So good stuff,
Sounds
Chief.
good.
This is perfect, right? I mean, this is great. We'll continue the conversation after we're done with Brian. Hopefully we can pick it back up. It's not in our script, but it's an important topic.
Call back in, Sean.
All right. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate you, bud. Oh, okay. There you go. All right. We needed to free line. And Chief, thank you for stepping in there. We're waiting for Brian to call. He is going to actually be calling in any moment now, which we appreciate it. So let me do a quick reset. You are watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. Hour number 2 about to start. Matt is here. Chief is here. I am here. Aaron E. at the board. And Brett is still sitting in with us because obviously he has no life, but that's okay. We love him.
He's eating donuts.
He's like, correct.
That's right. Hour number 2.
Can win him over with Krispy Kreme.
Listen, he's had about 4 so far, so it's 4 less than Aaron has to worry about. Anyway, so Brian Myers from Impact Wrestling, he was joining us, waiting for him to call in. We're just waiting to answer that call. But we appreciate it. Hour number 1 was packed. We had rumors. We talked about Crown Jewel. Great conversation at the end of hour number 1 talking about the school system. Chief, I'm so glad you brought that topic up because I wish not an internal audit, but God darn it, that word audit. There's a word in front of that I'm looking for. that
An external audit.
Yeah, no, that's not the word. It's close, but anyway, so we'll just keep chatting until Brian calls in. I wish I could ask for callers to call in and ask questions, but unfortunately that will tie up the line. But you can ask questions in the chat room while you're watching, and of course we have our questions that we're going to ask them. We can always share a question from you.
I'm going to throw the shout outs. Shout out to Top Rope Collectibles. Shout out to the Bruise Brothers. Shout out to Power Play Sports and Collectibles show that they have normally every other Wednesday night with our man right here, Mr. Matt Mullen at the helm. Who else we got to shout out, brother? I'm trying to think. Power Play Sports and Collectibles. Mr. Scott Hosey, will shout out to him.
All right. Big Valley Wrestling tonight at the LGBTQ Community Center. So second fundraiser this year for them. 7 or 8 matches, great matches. The main event match is going to see Fresco taking on Big Dirty. That should be a great match. From what I saw, Shade is going to be coming in, issuing an open challenge for his title. A couple of tag teams, including the tag team titles, the Players Club, putting it up against Sky High. Doors open, I want to say 6, I think, or 5:30.
Hold on.
BVW, the BVW card tonight.
5:30, doors open, 6 o'clock, showtime.
There you go. And the venue is not, the event's not going to be held inside the center. It will actually be held outside in the parking lot, which is quite interesting.
Under the stars.
Under the stars. So bring your sleeping bags and your camping chairs. Parking will be limited, so if you do show up, there will be some parking out next to the building, from what I understand. Other than that, you'll be able to park on the streets in and around the community center. But as Chief said, 5:30 gates open. The matches start at 6 p.m. Brett Lawson, my partner on Unsportsmanlike Conduct, and myself will be providing commentary for that event tonight, just as we did for Cauliflower Alley Club. So hopefully he and I will become the voice of wrestling commentary.
The Golden Tones.
The Golden Tones, yes. They weren't very golden a couple of weeks ago after Unicon. That's for darn sure. Anyway.
You know, maybe while we're waiting, I just
Yes.
said to Matt, maybe we could go over the card for Impact.
Yeah, let's do it. Do we have a list of the card?
Yep.
Any
the main
update?
event is...
I'm sorry, any update as to when he's going to be calling in?
I just messaged Scott. He's
Okay.
working on it
Gotcha.
right now.
All right. Shoot. Let's talk about it. Go.
The main event is Christian Cage versus Josh Alexander for the Impact World Championship.
I say Josh.
I think Josh Alexander wins because Christian's with AEW, but they're going to put on an amazing match.
Yes.
I agree.
They'll blow the roof off.
I absolutely agree with that. So we'll see a new champion crowned at Bound for Glory.
I hope so.
Then we have Deonna Purrazzo versus Mickie James for the Knockout Championship.
Oof. Deonna Purrazzo, I think, retains.
I'll tell you what, after what Deonna said about Mickie, I got a feeling Mickie James is going to win it. I really do.
But she's primarily part of NWA now, isn't she?
Yes, she is. But
unless it's one of those opportunities where they're going to cross promote again, right?
That's my thought. Yeah. So I'm going with Mickie.
Okay.
I'm going Deonna Purrazzo.
Okay. So I selected her as well. So it should, again, either way, it should be a huge match. Next.
Then we have the Decay, which is Rosemary and Havoc versus the Inspiration for the Knockout Tag Team Championship.
Okay.
I say it's going to end in a DQ.
How long have the current champs had the belt? Do you know roughly?
A couple months.
Couple of months?
I'm going to go with Decay.
I'm going with the Inspiration. I put a thing on our Instagram of who was going to win, and it was like 100% Inspiration until Havoc shared our story and put on the thing, so it started going Decay's way. But Inspiration is still winning.
Well, it's great that she at least picked it up. That's cool that she saw it out there. That's great.
Rosemary and
Havoc.
They're good wrestlers. That's going to be a good match. That's definitely going to be a good women's match.
I would like to see the Inspiration win. However, having them come right in and win on the first match, is that really best for business? Having them come in is one thing, but to win the titles on the first match back, what do you think?
Let's go this way.
Mm-hmm.
When Ruby Ray went into AEW and had the match that first match for the championship belt.
Mm-hmm.
Would that have been right for her to win that match? Walking in, I got you. I hear what you're saying, and I agree. Personally, myself, I think it takes a little time. In my opinion, they're not going to win it. They need to have 5 or 6 matches, come back, have another go.
Maybe
for the
win it in
championship,
November,
something like that.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that, but not the first night.
Yeah. There you go. So I think the current champs will retain as well.
I mean,
we might have got
even
it.
though this guy disagrees.
We're now calling in on our Thoughts Count Anywhere hotline, brought to you by Power Play Sports Collectibles. Our guest for the show, great wrestler, someone that is now part of Impact. We're honored and happy to have him. Will be part of the Bound for Glory card. Please join us in thanking Mr. Brian Myers, joining us today on Thoughts Count Anywhere. Brian, good morning. Thank you for being on with us today.
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Hey, no worries. I'm Aaron. We have Chief. We have Matt joining in today. I have goosebumps. Guys, I don't know if you can see this. My goosebumps just went up on my arm. That we have Brian on the phone line.
This guy's all right in my book. He's originally from Glen Cove, New York. So in my book, he's okay.
Yeah, well, because it's Glen in front of it, or because he's from New York?
Because he's from New York.
All right, I'll claim part of that. I'm from Jersey also. So anyway, Brian, thanks. Where are you today? What do you even know where you are?
I am in my beautiful home in Long Island.
Oh, there you go.
To you guys.
All right.
And,
what part of Long
Island? As soon as
Island?
we're done talking here, I'm headed to New Jersey to wrestle in the Rahway Rec Center for wrestling.
No way.
Tonight.
I was born and raised in the town right next door, Linden.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that is so cool. Rahway. Oh my God, he's
home. If I may,
that's where I get Muscle Maker Grill on my way there.
Right on. There you go.
If I may ask, what part of Long Island, sir?
I grew up in Glen Cove, as you said, and now I live in Merrick.
Merrick.
Yep.
The traffic must be fun to deal with on the LIE.
I just looked it up. It's an hour drive. It's already a 2-hour drive.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
forward to that, but
you're going to go across the outer bridge and down. I know how you're going. My last tour of duty was at the Merchant Marine Academy at Kings Point.
Oh, cool.
So we're excited that you're going to be joining us out here for Bound for Glory in a couple of weeks. You're looking forward to the match you're going to be in with all these other wrestlers?
Yeah, the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. Pretty much, I don't really give a damn about the match because I just want to win it. I don't care who's in there, what's going on, but the significance to me is being number one contender. And I was already number one contender one time this year, came up short, and I truly feel that I'm deserving of being the Impact World Champion. So I got to win this one to get there.
Definitely, it don't matter if there's one person in front of you or 19 people. I can see you being number one contender for sure.
Knock them all down, brother.
That's the plan.
All right, how have you enjoyed your time in Impact so far?
Honestly, it's been incredible. Just for me, just tons of opportunity, where I can be me, be the best version of Brian Myers that I always knew I could be. And Impact's given me an incredible platform to do that, put a microphone in my hand, things like that I didn't really, get a lot of opportunity to do in my career. And I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the atmosphere. I think it's a product that people need to check out. Some people kind of wrote Impact off years ago for whatever reasons, it wasn't for them. But this is a completely different, roster, completely different product. And I can't sing the praises enough. I tell everyone, man, if you haven't checked out Impact in a while, you got to check it out and give it another chance. And then the people that are watching it, they already know. They know how good it's been and how hard everyone's working, how talented, some of the people on our roster are.
Hey, Brian, let me ask you a question. As far as creative freedom, where you were at prior to where you are at now, difference in creative freedom, sir?
It's night and day. It's not even, to me, it's not even comparable, It's almost like your opinion really didn't matter too much in the other place.
That's okay.
At Impact, we kind of bounce ideas off of each other, improvise, and just kind of have fun. And to me, pro wrestling at the end of the day should just be fun. End of story, fun. It's such a unique profession that anyone involved in it is truly should be honored to be a part of it. And if you're not having fun, it's such a hard lifestyle, and it wouldn't be worth it if you weren't having fun. So to me, that above all, it's got to be fun, and that's what I'm having at Impact.
I just want to remind everybody, if you have to leave watching us on any of our Facebook or YouTube pages, please download the Go Live Vegas mobile app right now so that you can continue listening to the show. More importantly, so that you can continue listening to our interview with Brian Myers. Chief, I think you had a follow-up question.
Yeah, Brian, well, not a follow-up question, but I do have a comment. Will you do me a favor? Please bring some merch to Impact, the house shows, whatever. Bring some merch so the people out here in Vegas can buy your merch and support you.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm pretty sure Impact will be all set up with you
Yeah.
know, the shop Impact stuff. Everybody's merch shirts and other things and DVDs, and then also at all the tapings at least. I'm not too sure about the pay-per-view itself, but the 2 tapings following, they'll for sure be doing meet and greets and things like that.
I just want to ask you thus far, because you've had a vast career. You started out in the industry a number of years ago in 2004. So what's been your biggest highlight thus far? I mean, obviously you're involved with Impact, coming to Vegas and all that. And by the way, I, for one, huge fan of yours, love your work, and I'm glad that now you found a home where Brian Myers can do his thing. What's been your high moment right now in all the years of being a pro wrestler?
You know what, man? I think I'm constantly in search of that moment. I've done a lot of great things that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. Things that me as a 5-year-old that fell in love with wrestling, pretty surreal to say, like I've wrestled The Undertaker more times than I can even remember.
Wow. That's right.
But, I'm still in search of the greatest moment, And I'll be honest, I thought it was coming. I thought I could beat Christian Cage for the world title a couple weeks back.
Right.
And it didn't happen, but that's fine. It keeps me hungry. It keeps me in the hunt, keeps me focused, and I'm just constantly in search of that great moment. It's never enough. When you love this business like I do, it's never enough.
Continues to give you that constant motivation, right?
Totally, yeah.
Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, definitely. With all like the freedom and stuff you guys have now, I've been a big fan of the Major Wrestling Figure podcast since literally day one, and it's turned into like such a big community of like wrestling fans, figures collectors. What's that mean to you to like bring all these people together and have that platform?
It's been just an unbelievable blessing in my life. The Major Wrestling Figure podcast. I give Matt credit all the time. It was his idea, and I didn't really see it. And I mean, none of us saw what it would become. It's become something literally like in my wildest dreams I could have never imagined, and definitely Matt too, even though it was his idea. But what a blessing, and I think a lot of it has to do with just how open and honest Matt are. I think the public perception of us is that we're these big, tough wrestlers, but then if you listen to our show, you know that it couldn't be further from the truth. We're just like blithering nerds that love wrestling. And we just put it all out there, and I think everyone went, wow, if these guys can kind of come out of their nerd closets, and so can I.
Right.
And with that mentality, we've just created this legion of fans that just have been so loyal and so incredible to us, and it's just like-minded people with the same passion, so it's just nothing but positive vibes. And honestly, at the end of the day, Matt asked me to do this, and he asked enough where I was like, you know what, we're going to spend however many hours in the car together talking about this anyway, because that's what we do in real life. We might as well just record it and see what happens, and thank God we did.
Awesome. I'm glad you guys did too. I'm really looking forward to Live 10 next week.
Yeah, live at the Nerd Bar. I'm excited just to get to the Nerd Bar because it looks like such a unique place.
Yeah, it's really cool. Actually, I'm the head of security for the whole building there, so I heard it was coming there. I was
awesome.
All right. But what can fans expect from Live 10 if anybody's listening to this on the verge of trying to buy a ticket?
Oh man, well, tons of free stuff, tons of fun, tons of alcohol consumption, a lot of who's who in the wrestling business surprise guests. That's part of the big shtick of our live shows. Is we only advertise that me, Mark Sterling, and Matt are going to be there. That's all you're going to get. And then we always over-deliver with surprise guests coming out to talk to us and stuff. So free merch, ringside raffle. I mean, anyone who buys a ticket can get a photo op with us at the Impact tapings on the ramp, like on the Impact stage. So we think that's a big, incentive for people, as well as, tickets to those tapings. So VIP raffle for Bound for Glory we're giving away, a lot of cool stuff. So it's always just an unbelievably awesome time. There's still tickets available. You can walk up, whatever. So we're encouraging people to check us out. It's going to be fun as hell.
And how much are the tickets? Do you know?
Man, I wish Matt Cardona was here to tell you that, but I don't really answer that. There's two options. There's a VIP option.
I put it on our Instagram. I'll look it up real quick.
There you go. There's a VIP option that's a little more expensive that gets you a little more merch and swag and a meet and greet with Matt and I. And then there's a general admission ticket.
Gotcha.
That's all you're looking to do.
Okay. Well, we're going to look that up and share that with everybody. Go ahead, Chief.
You give senior citizen discounts?
Yeah, sure.
AARP discounts, military.
Anyway, getting back to it. I know you were trained by Mikey Whipwreck.
Mm-hmm.
Who else in your career has inspired you to get to the elevation that you're at now?
I always say it was Mikey gave us that foundation. I think that the basics and the fundamentals that he instilled in Matt and I have really kept me safe. I'm 36 years old and been doing this. I'm in my 18th year and I'm pretty damn relatively healthy for us. As hard as I've been going. And
you're a youngster.
And I think a lot of that has to do with those basic fundamentals that Mikey instilled in us and taught us so well. And then beyond the Mikey training, it was being with Edge for a year on the road and being his edge heads. And that I always tell people that was a storyline on television, but it was real. Matt and I soaked up everything that every ounce of information we could get out of this guy and watched him pretty much the whole year of 2008 be the best wrestler in the whole world. We watched him from the best seats in the house every single night and saw what he did, and how he did it in every which way, promos, being a champion, wrestling main events and doing live events and all these things. So that was just the most invaluable learning experience I feel like anyone in this business could ever have. And
sure.
Matt and I are always going to be fortunate for that.
I want to ask you mentioned Edge, which, those of us sitting here, we kind of, at least I did in Chief, we had the same response of wow, we kind of forgot that. But there's another name that's currently very making a big impact in another wrestling organization that you were very involved with of preparing, and that was MJF. He's out of your school. You helped train him. Give us that story.
Yeah, I mean, so he's a year one student of mine from Creative Pro Wrestling. I started Creative Pro with my partner Pat Buck, who's a WWE producer, in 2014. And just, I just had a vision of I really, selfishly wanted a place to train and that I could rely on and always, have the key to a ring. And then it just kind of evolved similar to the podcast, just like-minded people. It was never set up to make money or, to be a money grab. It was to have people come in who are passionate and hardworking that want to be in the wrestling business and, be there to work hard and figure it out and learn and grow. And now that it's been open for 7 years or whatever, the fruits of that labor are really paying off.
Absolutely.
So many people in the world's seeing it with MJF. And
right.
Seeing it with Chris Statlander and Max Caster. I always felt I said, once this guy gets any kind of platform or more people see him, he's going to be a huge star, and he's doing that right now. And Bear Bronson, and the list goes on. So
Jeez.
Mark Sterling even. So it's just something I'm super proud of, super protective of. Like I said, we know if you come in and you got a bad attitude or you're not working hard, we just tell you hey, this place isn't for you, man. You got to go somewhere else because that's not what we do here. This
right
is
on.
all nothing but hardworking, passionate people, and it's cool to see these people come in like MJF, who basically quit college football, and his dad walked in and goes, "He wants to be a wrestler. He's your problem now." Basically, is what he said to me.
He's your problem.
And see that turn into superstardom. It's
right on.
Pretty cool.
Right on. I love that. I love that concept. It's well, Dad, here you go. He's yours. You help him grow
Basically
up.
what happened.
That's funny because he's only 23 or something. I mean, he's really a young pup, isn't he?
He's 24, 25. I believe now.
Right.
But he went up for his freshman year of college football or whatever, the 2 weeks before school starts type of deal, and didn't make it a week and left in the middle of the night and came home and told his parents he wanted to be a wrestler.
Jeez. Wow. Talk about a change.
Yeah.
Matt, you had the next question, or Chief, you had a follow-up to that? Somebody?
Oh, yeah, I got a question. I usually ask the same question to pretty much every guest we have because I'm always curious. Who's your Mount Rushmore of wrestling?
That's a tough one, man, because, what are you basing it on, who I enjoyed personally as a fan?
Yeah,
or
who you and
success, or who made the most money? Everyone has their different perception of what success in wrestling is. Right?
Who's your top 4 of all time?
My favorites?
Yeah.
for me, Chris Candido, I always say, is my favorite wrestler of all time. And I enjoyed him as a kid, and he's actually the first guy I ever got in a ring with. It was a school. It's a long story, but the gist of it was there was a school that was supposed to open up here in Long Island that he was going to be the head trainer, and it was open for one day. And I went the one day, and he trained me for 2-3 hours, and it was unbelievable for me, and I'll never forget it. And then as I grew as a worker, I just appreciated his matches even more. It's just the type of guy that could, you could have a serious match, a technical match, you could have a comedy match, you could basically adapt to any situation and any opponent and get the best out of, who he's working with. And I always thought that was, pretty cool. But, that mentality of can you have a good one with Hornswoggle and can you have a good one with Great Khali? Two different tasks.
That's true.
That's kind of like what I put some,
sure,
to my work as well.
Two ends of the you just touched on two ends of the spectrum in so many different ways between Hornswoggle and the Great Khali. All right, Chief has a question, and then I want to get your final thoughts on Bound for Glory. So, Chief, go ahead.
Hey, you're going to wrestle at Rawway Rec Center tonight. You wrestling for Are you wrestling for Jersey All Pro tonight?
So Jersey All Pro is the company that basically got that building, made it a big wrestling building.
Yeah.
But for the past almost 10 years now, it's been WrestlePro has been in there.
WrestlePro.
The last time I was from WWE, I wrestled there. It was basically my home. It's one of my favorite buildings to wrestle in, and I have not wrestled there in 5 years. So I'm super excited to go back, and I am wrestling Fandango tonight, who's somebody I've known for 15 years, and he's a very good friend, and I'm looking forward to kicking his ass, actually.
There you go. He's a good friend, but I'll send him from pillar to post. Okay.
That's what we do.
Yeah, of course. I love it. It's crazy. I love it. All right. Bound for Glory coming up next week. It's an opportunity for you to send a message for those other participants in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. Go for it before we say goodbye.
I mean, I truly feel the most professional wrestler, Brian Myers, has been hands down the best overall performer at Impact Wrestling for well over a calendar year now. I've already been #1 contender. I'm going to do it again. And I really have my eye on the main event. Christian Cage defending against Josh Alexander, the walking weapon. I've watched Josh this past, year and a half just grow, and he's at the top of his game now, and I think a lot of people are underestimating him in this one, but I think that match is going to be something special, so I hope people really tune in to check it out.
Right on. Brian Myers, Impact Wrestling, will be here next week and as part of Bound for Glory. Matt, why don't we start wrapping up and say goodbye to Brian?
Definitely looking forward to seeing you at Live 10 and winning at Bound for Glory.
Hell yeah, man.
Chief.
Thank you. Some guys just can't handle Vegas, bro. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're not worried about you not being able to
take them all out the night before.
Yes.
And just put water in your cup.
That is the plan.
Chief,
Major
go ahead.
Pod Live at the Nerd Bar.
There you go. Jonathan's going to have one hell of a bill.
Hey, Brian, just remember what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So if you take them out the night before, hey, no,
I know a guy that can build some holes for you. I can take some.
I'm sure in Vegas, yeah.
I'm good with a kendo stick too, so I mean,
those hurt, man. I don't know about that.
Hey, see you next week.
Brian Myers,
thanks, guys.
Thank you so much for taking time with us today. Glad to see you going back to my home state, Jersey. Good luck tonight, and we definitely look forward to seeing you next week here in Vegas, Bound for Glory.
All right, boys. Take care.
Thank you, Brian.
Take
Brian
care.
Myers,
Thank you.
What a great treat. I'll tell you what, listen, his time in the previous company, obviously not well done. Glad he's got now a stage where he can do what he wants to do for his character. And listen, I hope he wins. He's my pick.
Me too. That's who I'm hoping for wins.
Exactly.
It's nice.
Yes.
It's nice to have somebody actually come out and to talk about creativity.
Yes.
Like he did.
Yep. And he did it very politically correct, too.
Yes.
All right, we're going to step aside for a break. We're at the bottom of the hour. Give us an opportunity to reset ourselves, because when we come back, we're going to finish some WWE news, AEW, and then maybe a little touch on some pop culture stuff that's been going on.
And birthdays.
And birthdays. Thank you. We'll be back. You're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. We'll be right back.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts Count Anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
At Firehouse Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide much-needed life-saving equipment to first responders. We make our subs differently because our subs make a difference. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
If inspiration is the beginning, where does it lead? Experience the 2021 Mazda 3 sedan and see where inspiration can take you.
Grab the brass ring in a 2021 Mazda 3 with exclusive FSW discounts at Findlay Mazda. Get Garth today at the Valley Auto Mall.
Sin City Sublimation is an all-in-one design and manufacturing shop making everything here in Las Vegas. Most companies have everything made overseas. We do not and can do all the work in 2 weeks or less. From the court to the field, we have all types of sports uniforms for your liking, but if you are looking for something else, we also make memorial shirts, birthday shirts, and fan gear for your kids' teams. Send us an email at sales@sincitysublimation.com, and if you mention Thoughts Count Anywhere, we will take $5 off each shirt with a minimum of 12 purchased. A pro wrestler-owned business, we are known for reasonable pricing with a fast turnaround, all made in the USA. For more information, go to sincitysublimation.com for more.
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
All right, welcome back. Thoughts Count Anywhere. Once again, a big thank you to Mr. Brian Myers from Impact Wrestling. He's a participant in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet next week for taking some time with us from his home in New York on his way to be wrestling at the Rawway Rec Center tonight, which literally, Linden, the town I grew up in, was the next town right over.
Yep.
So I knew exactly where he was talking about. I'm like, holy crap. It's like Jersey's getting on the map. I love it. So we want to thank you for, and he's wrestling, what do you say, Fandango tonight?
You know, we've been 2 for 2 last week and this week.
Absolutely.
2
so,
for 2.
And again, we want to thank that.
Keep it rolling.
Those interviews are brought to you by and sponsored by Power Play Sports Collectibles at the Boulevard Mall. You got it. All right. Okay. So let's get back into let's go to WWE.
Okay.
News and notes. Is there really anything on here thus far that? Oh, here's one that WWE canceled the December pay-per-view, the TLC, since they have another pay-per-view called Day One on January 1st.
And then they're going to have 2 pay-per-views in January.
Right. So nobody's really talked about what the program for Day One is going to be about, is it, in terms of what it is, what it's based on? Is there a theme? Is there something other than it being like the first day of January?
I think that's the whole thing. It's literally just the first day of the year.
Okay.
So they're calling it Day One.
So is it like do you think it's going to be like a clean slate kind of thing? Because Day One, basically, it's like when the Usos, won their tag title a few years ago. It was like Day One-ish or something like that, whatever it was. Something like from this day forward, it's something new. Could there be something in that, you think?
I would hope so, but it's WWE, so I highly doubt it.
Because it makes sense, that's why.
Miss April has family in Linden, New Jersey,
I know.
she says.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing all the messages. But yes, I know we talked about that last time. Absolutely, she does. Yep. I'm so glad that she's watching. Yes, that is very true. But I don't know. I just find it interesting because usually TLC is a pretty good pay-per-view because everybody's looking for the high spots.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe January 1st, maybe it's going to be cross-show, Raw against SmackDown.
Well, they're just doing that in Survivor Series. So.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And they're probably not including NXT in Survivor Series this year, right?
Of course, no.
There's way too many new people. They got to elevate to get to that level.
There's a couple young men down there though that I think are they're going to be moving up to the main roster here pretty soon.
Oh yeah,
if I'm not
sure.
Mistaken. So that'll definitely help. But there again, we've got people that are on the main roster who we know are quality wrestlers
right.
that you don't see.
Right. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. I mean, look what they're doing with Cameron Grimes. They're talking about changing his character, changing the name and shaving his head and shaving his chest hair and all this other stuff. And, that's such a disservice to the original character and what they built in NXT. If you're grooming them to do something in NXT, wouldn't it make sense that you're grooming them to do what they do when they come up to the main roster?
Yes.
A guy in AAA baseball who's a first baseman, you're not going to bring him up to the major leagues to be a left fielder. It does happen, but rarely.
Look at Baron Corbin.
Yeah. How many times has he changed perspectives? And yet every gimmick he does, very successful at. And he's a rarity.
Yes, sir.
Seth Rollins, every character he does, but not everybody can do that.
No.
But, to me, you get Keith Lee, Cameron Grimes, the list can go on and on and on with these great performers in NXT, but then they come out of the NXT pool, they come up to Raw or SmackDown, we all know, and this is a repeat story, they fall flat in their face because they're not being used the way that they should be and in the way that they were developed.
Yeah.
So
there's just as many flops in NXT as there's been successes.
Yeah. Well, not in NXT or NXT
or coming
folks coming
to
up.
the main roster.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
yeah, I agree with that totally.
The one thought that I just had, and I don't have very many. Why is Ciampa not going up to the main roster?
He said in an interview that if they called him up to the main roster, he will retire. He doesn't want to go.
I remember
to
that.
Raw or SmackDown.
Right. I remember that was about a year or so ago, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Right before the shutdown. Yeah, I remember that coming out. Listen, you know what? And yet Rhea Ripley made a comment the other day. She would love to go back to NXT.
Tommaso's also small compared to
he's not
the other
Vince's
big
guy,
guys,
right?
so
Yeah.
he might get the Adam Cole treatment where they'll be like, "Oh, let's make you a manager of somebody and cut your hair," which they're making fun on being the Elite, which is hilarious.
By the way, Sean Hyde says that Fandango is going to beat Myers tonight. And then he says that the Day One says it's the second coming of WWE telling us they are going to listen to us, but then they don't listen. History repeats itself, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So no pay-per-view, no TLC. January 1st will be the no December, but like Chief said, 2 in January. 2 for the price of 1 in the month.
We get the
of
Royal
January.
Rumble. That's kind of the one everybody waits for.
Yeah, that's true. That's one at the end of January, right?
Yeah.
I'm so lost on scheduling
Can,
right now.
can I reflect on
Sure,
something
please.
for a minute?
Absolutely.
Is no an option? No, I'm just kidding. Go for it.
We're not controlled by the FCC, are we?
No.
Just by Aaron Phillips Enterprises.
Okay, I was just checking that.
Wait a minute. What the hell was that? Back up. Can you can we rewind for a second or two? What is that about?
I don't know.
It sounded good.
I know it did. I see a new shirt coming. Aaron Phillips Enterprise. I kind of like that. I don't like the letters though. If you pull the letters off each of those, well, maybe it might be good. Ape.
Anyway, what I was
It's a new website coming.
What I was going to go to.
Love you, Matt.
I remember back when Vince had WWE and Shane Mac went in and bought
WCW.
supposedly WCW. We all know it was WWE bought it. Come on. It was WWE money. But it was a great storyline. Now I'm thinking with the way WWE is right now, is Shane going to come back and try to take over one of the companies again? I would much rather see Triple H take over one of the companies and battle Vince for outright control, which I think eventually Stephanie's going to get. I think that's the way it's written. That's, when Vince steps down, it'll be Stephanie. But I would love to see that happen and see what kind of productivity.
Did you want to respond? You have a thought on that? Because I do. I'm just wondering if.
I don't want to see it happen in storyline. I want Vince to go off to pasture and hang out in Connecticut and let Triple H and whoever else take over.
That's not going to happen because Linda doesn't want him home.
He can buy another house. He's a billionaire.
Plus, Linda's doing her own thing anyway. Listen, when we last saw Shane at WrestleMania, again, reading the reports, and we were just reading the stories and stuff that's out there. Shane stepped away from WWE.
Yes.
Okay. I think at this point, he stepped away from wrestling in general. Now, whether we see him down the line in a couple of years, who knows? Who knows? Maybe there's a possibility, but I think right now, Shane is done with wrestling. He took a shot with this Raw Underground thing. That didn't work very well, right? Came back to wrestle in this really stupid storyline with Braun Strowman, right? You are stupid kind of stuff. You know, all of that stuff. Thank you. But
got him unemployed.
Exactly. Got them both unemployed because Shane is no longer involved with WWE. I would much rather see Triple H, Shawn, Stephanie. I don't think Stephanie will allow Triple H in any way, shape, or form to buy or get involved in another promotion to come back and battle, so to speak, WWE.
That would be interesting, though.
Of course it would.
It would be interesting.
Unless Stephanie, who now just got a recent award for being like another executive or whatever her title is of the year, I don't ever see Stephanie walking away from WWE because, as you said, she's going to be the heiress to the throne whenever Vince really at this point drops dead. So I think everybody in a way, I think is kind of holding out hope that at some point that transition is going to happen sooner than later to save, in a way, WWE. Now, we bash WWE Raw, but from all reports, and I've been watching little snippets over the last couple of weeks, the last couple of weeks of Raw have apparently been better shows for whatever the reason. I don't know if that's truth or not. The little bits that I've seen, it doesn't convince me. Exactly. That's kind of the feeling I get.
My fast forward button is like losing the paint.
But didn't I see something that said in one of the shows they had they only sold 4,000 tickets at the show, and they sold 3,500 tickets, and they comped another 500 or 800 for 4,300 people in the seats at one of the shows.
Oh wow!
That's all they had. Now, of course, it's a dirt sheet, which we all read and
take with a grain of salt.
Exactly, but that's what it said, and I saw it on more than one. So,
Sean, I'm going to respond. Yes, I've seen recent pictures of Shawn Michaels. He says Shawn Michaels is not camera ready. Have you seen recent pictures? It's all about the hairline. That's all.
Between his hairline and his lazy eye, you're like, what happened, buddy?
Tom Crawford says same boring matches week after week, and that's true. It's the same. And that
it's
goes
the same
back,
boring matches, and they all end in roll-ups.
And it goes back to what Chief said. There's enough talented people already there not being used to keep calling people up from NXT and not use them. Just seems to be bringing gasoline to the bonfire. Okay, I want to take our last break a few minutes early because we do have to get the last break in to make sure all of our sponsors are happy, which we appreciate that. When we come back on the other side, a few more wrestling notes, some pop culture, and of course, when we come back, we'll start right off. Before we go, we have a picture. Okay. Aaron E. is pulling up a picture of Mr. Shawn Michaels. See, again, it all goes back to the bald-headedness.
That's not even the bad one. Have you seen the one that was posted the other day?
With the thin hairline or something where he was trying to grow some hair back? Is that the one? He was standing with one of the NXT wrestlers?
Yeah.
That's all right. We can leave that. Well, Matt, if you can find that other picture, we can do. I just want to be careful that we don't get hate mail from Shawn Michaels. Anyway, we come back. We're going to start off with birthdays, some remaining notes, and then some pop culture, which, of course, affects some direct news here in Las Vegas. We want to thank you all for watching. TCA. We'll be right back.
If you order Firehouse Subs online or with our app, we'll have those delicious, melty subs boxed, bagged, and ready to pick up with Rapid Rescue to Go. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
If inspiration is the beginning, where does it lead? Experience the 2021 Mazda 3 sedan and see where inspiration can take you.
Grab the brass ring in a 2021 Mazda 3 with exclusive FSW discounts at Findlay Mazda. Get Garth today at the Valley Auto Mall.
Sin City Sublimation is an all-in-one design and manufacturing shop making everything here in Las Vegas. Most companies have everything made overseas. We do not and can do all the work in 2 weeks or less. From the court to the field, we have all types of sports uniforms for your liking, but if you are looking for something else, we also make memorial shirts, birthday shirts, and fan gear for your kids' teams. Send us an email at sales@sincitysublimation.com, and if you mention Thoughts Count Anywhere, we will take $5 off each shirt with a minimum of 12 purchased. A pro wrestler-owned business, we are known for reasonable pricing with a fast turnaround, all made in the USA. For more information, go to sincitysublimation.com for more.
All right. Thank you, Sin City Sublimation. Thank you, Firehouse Subs. Thank you to Bruce Brothers. Thank you to Power Play Sports Collectibles. And you, the fan. Making 2 hours possible. They asked for it.
Yeah.
They got it. We want to thank our sponsors for making that happen. All right. Before we go over any more topics, listen, it's become a favorite part of the show, and I don't know if anybody responded to Chief's request to post birthdays on our Facebook page. If you want to get announced, you've got to go to our Facebook page and post your birth date, and it's got to be legitimate so we can include you in our announcement. So with that, if you are celebrating a birthday starting today, October 16th, all the way through next Friday, October 22nd, we want to wish you a happy birthday from all of us here, and you are celebrating with these people. Today, October 16th, Lenny Lane, Just Incredible, Kenny Omega, and how's it pronounced? Gia Brookside?
Gia.
I pronounced it right? October 18th, The Berserker. Of course, that's John Nord and Simon Gotch. October 19th, Tony Storm. October 20th, the great Chavo Guerrero and Scott Hall, who we saw at Unicon.
Yes, we did.
October 21st. Oh, these guys are great. Bushwhacker Butch. What a weirdest walk. Well, never mind. And on October 22nd, Bad News Brown, D'Lo Brown, and Taya Valkyrie, now known as Frankie Monet. We want to wish all of those folks a happy birthday, those who are still celebrating, and all of you out there celebrating from today through next Friday. Thank you again, and happy birthday from all of us here at Thoughts Count Anywhere.
And just so you know, Vince McMahon is 76 years old.
How old?
76.
Today?
No.
Oh.
Well, his birthday's in August. It's always
Yeah.
around like SummerSlam.
Yeah, 76 today. So.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. With that, oh, we have the pic. There you go. That's the one that I was referring to. You can see the hairline there is a little different. Trying to grow some hair back. I would. That's not a good look.
He needs to join Hair Club for Men.
Remember that product where you used to use the spray can?
No.
You don't remember that?
He needs to go with LeBron James's hair person.
Something.
Who's this guy?
That is Hans Mortier. He was the German champion, and then he came over to the WWE, battled Bruno Sammartino many times at Madison Square Garden. And he was a hell of a wrestler.
And I'm sure you watched him on the radio.
I did. No, I watched him live and in person.
Oh.
At Madison Square.
Nice.
Yep. It was awesome. It was awesome. I enjoyed it. No.
No. I am responding to a text message that I just received, so that is one that I needed to respond
And
to.
Sean says Vince is a young spring chicken.
Well, 76. Listen, numbers.
No, he is
only numbers.
he is a young spring chicken.
And he is.
But he needs his ass fried.
He does, but he's also in great physical shape. Health-wise, he's got his body in shape, and he's.
That we know. That we know. You know, and I don't want to get into personal life or anything like that.
Not trying to.
No,
but we've
definitely
seen him
not.
on the cover of magazines over the years and whatnot. So we know he's just not sitting on the Barca Lounger, as someone referenced earlier on the Saudi Arabia shows, eating popcorn. He's just enjoying, he's working out. And you know what? You're around the weights, you're around the ring, you're around all these guys who do work out. It's only natural that, that you would get it, that you would get into the sync of working out.
The
All right.
Barca Lounger. Huh?
Barca Lounger.
Okay.
I've heard from a lot of wrestlers. They're like, I don't even know when Vince sleeps because they'd be doing shows and everyone's trying to go to bed and Vince is in the gym. after like a long day of they're like, what is this man on?
Well, you know, he makes his money, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, I have no problem with the guy working because of passion.
No.
You know, but at some point, again, we all have said this. At some point, though, passion's one thing.
Yep.
But what's best for business, as what was the key phrase a few years ago with the authority figure, we all know and believe, and the fans know, that what's best for business now doesn't equate to doing the right thing when it comes to passion.
As I said, and I will continue to say, his dad, I believe, is turning over in his grave.
Probably, but wrestling when his dad owned it was a very different society than it is today because of the territories.
The wrestlers that you have behind the curtain are the same, okay? It's the package that you put on, however you, what do you want to call it, scripted work, you know, whatever you want to call it. Wrestling's wrestling, okay? The territories aren't there no more. You're absolutely right. But the wrestling program, you produce it the same way as you produced it years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I look at it.
They're produced the same, just on a bigger scale now.
Yeah.
And I think with what AEW and Impact and now New Japan and whatnot, with them sort of breaking down the door where they're all getting involved, is like almost going back to those throwback days of the old territories where wrestlers would go to the different territories to perform.
You know, let me ask you this, fellas. Do we have too much wrestling on TV today to the point of you watch wrestling every night of the week and you go to a show, or you get ready to go to a show, or you get ready to go to the pay-per-view at Impact Wrestling at Sam's Town next Saturday night, the 23rd, and 2 house shows, the 24th and 25th. And you can kind of tell what from the matches how it's going to go. You know, there's no mystique, no mystery, nothing to it anymore because it's so publicized. And in the old days, you had the territories. But the old days, you only had WWE, NWA, Florida Championship, Texas, Memphis.
But what was the only way people around the country knew about someone in Memphis or someone in Texas? And it was called Pro Wrestling Illustrated. It was the magazines on the stands. That was the social media.
Trading.
Right. That was the way people learned about wrestlers from other territories. It wasn't. Now, again, different time. Technology, no TV, no internet, and everything else. I get that. But that helped kayfabe stay in place.
Exactly.
So, again.
And Bill Apter did a great job.
Oh, he absolutely did. Did you ever read his book?
Absolutely.
I loved his book. That's why I keep asking the question, you know, listen, people say it's a great time for wrestling right now, for wrestling fans. And to an extent, I agree with that. But at the same token, I believe wrestling is getting a little too diluted because of social media, too many shows. I mean, the comment you have on here under AEW, where Tony Khan has been talking to Warner Media about a streaming home for the AEW shows and library. Could there be an AEW network coming soon? Why not? WWE is connected to Peacock, but again, the entire library is probably already out there on YouTube. If there's a match you want to see, just Google the damn thing. And it's already out there. You don't need to create another home for it. I agree, I think, and let's throw some other names into the mix, okay? And these are the smaller territories that are now starting to come back. Okay, MLW has been making some headway. They're now being talked in mainstream.
Yeah.
WWE, one way or the other, put a kibosh on a contract and agreement, but that notwithstanding, okay? The one that's missing from all of this is ROH. You don't hear much about ROH. They're not doing much to stay in the game.
I talked to somebody. ROH is going to start going out on the road again after the first of the year.
Okay.
Okay.
But their television stuff is not on an easy channel to get to. Not everybody can get to it.
No.
Right? Impact is now coming back, or it's been resurgent. NWA starting to resurge again. Now, are these other companies like the NWAs, ROHs, going to be a challenger to AEW, WWE? Not today, they're not.
No.
You know, Impact has a great shot now because now they're getting more national attention. You know, they're coming to Vegas now, which is becoming known as a sports capital city now, not just the gaming and entertainment. But that's why I'm almost concerned that there's too much and it's too accessible. Maybe that's the thing. It's too accessible because they had as many territories back in the day as we're listing now, but it's too accessible now, and I think that's what's killing a lot of
things.
The
thing is, back in the day, you had WWE was on 1 day a week. Okay. You had Crockett territory, NWA, 1 day a week. Florida Championship Wrestling, you had 1 day a week. Okay. And they were specifically to an area. It wasn't across the world or across the country where people were seeing it day after day after day. To me, that's what's, in my mind, that's what's hurt the wrestling business. Okay. And if we continue to do it, to watch it, I'll say enjoy it for most of us. But I just think there's too much of it that we see visually. And then when we go to the show, we know what to...
We know what's going to happen.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's great you said that because I'm just reading. I don't know if you're reading some of the recent comments.
I'm not.
Garth says it's hard to surprise or swerve the longtime fans because Vince keeps using the same old tricks. Sean Hyde says too many spoilers, social media, and behind the scenes stuff that it ruined the illusion of what we were watching. Everybody wants to know everything, so we don't watch the show really to enjoy it anymore.
Thanks, Sean. You knew exactly what I was
agree
saying.
with that.
Like, being a wrestling fan for so long, like, I kind of like knowing, like, the backstage stuff, but I only want to know to, like, a point.
Right.
I don't want to know, like, everything. Like, I want to watch and, like, just get caught up in it, like, not knowing, like...
Right.
Like, knowing a bunch of people in wrestling and knowing, like, what actually goes on backstage. I want to keep that stuff out of my mind and, like, just enjoy the show.
Right.
There is, like, a lot of wrestling now, but there's, like, different presentations, and they each have their own way of doing it, so it's not like you're watching Monday Night Raw 5 days a week.
Well, look at the difference between the Miz and Maurice show and Roads to the Top. I think we touched on this, last week. Okay, have you guys have you guys seen either show or both shows?
I've seen them both.
I've seen one.
Which one did you watch?
Miz.
Okay, so I've watched them both. I've started watching Roads to the Top. I think Miz.
Sorry to hear.
No, well, that's all right. I was curious. I did it for. I'm a true journalist. Miz and Maurice's show, I think, stops to the point of what you're talking about. Yeah, you'll see some behind the scenes stuff.
You'll see like them hanging out with like Morrison or like his like close friends that everybody knows about.
Right. But you're not sitting at Gorilla listening to what's going on like we've seen now watching the first couple episodes of Roads to the Top, where you are there planning the all out, that whatever it is, whatever pay-per-views they were referencing. That, I think, is a great example of what you're talking about, where they've pushed the envelope and have gone too far in exposure, and you can't take it back.
Yeah, and then you see like opponents like working out matches and.
Now, granted, the shows are taped ahead of all that happening, so the pay-per-views have already happened.
Yeah,
so all
but
that, but
still,
it takes away even after the fact. I totally agree with you.
Totally. I'll say it this way. I was fortunate enough, as you gentlemen were, to be able to sit down with some Hall of Famers a couple weeks ago.
You're still recovering from that, huh?
Oh, hell yeah.
I still haven't washed that shirt.
And get a perspective of what they see and what they envision in professional wrestling today. And their take on today versus when they were in the ring. And what we're saying right here is exactly what they're saying.
Right. Absolutely.
It's hard to compare like the good old days of wrestling to now because
there's no comparison.
There's no like really comparing it.
Yeah. No.
It's like comparing apples to oranges at this point.
Exactly.
Even now, like comparing this to the Attitude Era.
Yes.
It's apples to oranges. It's a whole different ball game now.
Absolutely. Sean says he challenges everyone to stay away from social media and podcasts. And he says, sorry to us, but this show you have to make an exception for. For 2 weeks, and then watch a wrestling show. He's done it, not expecting certain things, made him enjoy the show more.
Go back and watch Halloween Havoc 94. Just go back and watch it.
Even our producer, who's not the hugest wrestling fan, 80s WWE was the best, and that's the attitude. What's that? WWF at the time when you got the F out became the WWE, or WWWF, triple WF, which is what I grew up
the
on.
Worldwide Wrestling Federation.
That's right. That was the father before all of that. All right.
Even like getting like involved in like all this stuff and like all the backstage stuff, like going to events, I forget all of it.
Right.
I end up losing my voice at every freaking show we go to. So at Impact, when like, don't judge me sitting next to me because it's on like Donkey Kong.
We are there as
we're
fans.
Going to have fun. We're going to have fun.
Right. We are there as fans. All right,
I'm going to start so many stupid chants.
That's right. All right. We only have a few minutes left, so I want to jump into some pop culture real quickly. The NHL season started. We saw the new team, the Seattle Kraken, come to Vegas to take on the old new team, our Vegas Knights. They lost. The Knights won the home opener. Kraken lost, but they did
barely.
They did beat. Who did we say? The Nashville Predators the other night for their first
Predators.
win. World Series, the League Championship Series is set. Brett and I, as Yankee fans, can't root for the Red Sox. Can't root for Houston. I'm not a big fan of the Dodgers. We have no choice but to root for Atlanta all the way through, even though I usually root for the American League team regardless.
I'm a Yankee fan too, but I'll tell you what. I want to see Boston, Atlanta. That's what I want to see in the series, is Boston, Atlanta.
If the Dodgers don't make the World Series, network executives will not be happy because of the market size. That's all. But I agree. I mean, to me, I want to see Atlanta no matter what.
Yep.
I want to see Houston versus the Dodgers solely to get the Dodgers get their revenge.
You know what? That's a great point. And I think that's probably more of what the network executives are hoping for. John Gruden made headlines this past Monday, of course, stepping down as the Raiders head coach.
He should have sent a text message to Hillary Clinton to figure out how to get rid of old emails.
How to get rid of the trail. Sent an email 11 or 10 years ago with some rather derogatory comments that, quite frankly, hit just about every demographic in terms of his comments that's out there, and really put himself in a position where he had no choice last Monday to do that.
You know, when you were talking about it on unsportsmanlike conduct, and I'm not saying that the
Saturdays 8 to 9.
I'm not saying that the comments are what they should have been.
Right.
You know,
we're not condoning the
no.
We're not.
But my question is, it happened years ago, and in my mind, there should be a statute of limitation. Okay, well, if it was said back 5, 6, 7 years ago, why the hell wasn't it taken care of then?
Because the Washington football team was not under investigation.
Let me finish. Why wasn't it taken care of back then? It's brought to light now. And now you're going to take care of it 5, 6, 7 years.
They're not going to.
You know,
they're not going to, because the NFL is run not by the commissioner.
I'm talking about Gruden.
No. I understand, but again, the investigation was because of look-see into the Washington football team and Dan Snyder, how his email got caught up out of 600,000. That's a mission. But I agree with you. It should have been taken care of back then.
Did you hear the new one?
Which one?
They're trying to cancel Clint Eastwood.
And they're trying to cancel Terry Bradshaw.
Years ago.
Right, Terry Bradshaw. Because he was trying to compliment Erin Andrews last week in her Western gear while she was doing an interview on a horse farm, and I forgot who it was who was wrestling. He tried to compliment her, but we know Terry Bradshaw is not exactly an ace in the English language, whether that's part of his character or not. And it came across really bad. So now it's cancel Terry Bradshaw as well. It's crazy.
You know what it is? People's asses get chapped too freaking easy.
There you go. Well, listen, Herm Edwards said it best. When you're in the public eye, don't hit send. Delete. All right, one final note before we say goodbye. Locally, a gentleman who's been on local TV a long time, traffic report, part of our local NBC affiliate, Mr. Tom Holly, passed away yesterday at the age of 60 from colon cancer. We want to send our best thoughts and wishes to the Holly family, the Channel 3 family as well. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Brian Myers. Matt, real quickly, on the way out.
Everybody have a good week. Hope to see everybody at Bound for Glory and Live 10.
Chief.
Be safe. Love y'all.
What they said, coming up in 1 hour, twin brothers from different mothers will be on the air. Neil and I will be welcoming Derek David to the show. And, of course, Brett and I will see you down at the BBW show tonight. Thank you for watching. Be kind to everybody. Why is that? We're all we have. We'll see you in 1 hour for Twin Brothers. See you next week for TCA.